Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so Daniel is not with me today, my video maker, so I'm going to do it myself. And I'm sitting, as I mentioned before, in the Cayenne. I got the Taycan 4S, and this particular model is the Performance S version, the Taycan 4S with Performance Plus batteries, and it has 571 horsepower with overboost and almost gets to 680 newton meters of torque. I think it has 650 newton meters in a normal drive. The overboost option only comes when you put the car in launch control, which we are obviously going to do later, and it should do 0 to 100 in 4 seconds, but I want to know it for sure, so I'm going to try. And we are now in range mode. I'm going to show you the different modes later. Let's talk about the immediate reaction of driving this car. Well, what I think is very interesting in comparison to other electric cars like Tesla, they have managed to make the ride almost the same like a petrol engine. And when I say this, I mean the recuperation on the brakes is not as aggressive as on a Tesla. This car is really made like the drive is really no different than with an petrol engine car. But what you feel when you turn into a corner like here, you instantly feel the Porsche Genes. The turn into the corner, how it turns in, how the balance is, how it performs. It gives you the 100% of the Porsche experience. That's what I think is very interesting. I didn't think of it this way. I wouldn't believe if somebody told me, but it's really a Porsche drive. When you get in, you have the smell of a Porsche. It's really a Porsche. But what I think is very interesting is you feel the weight. It's 2.3 tons, and you feel it when you turn. It's immediate that you feel it. But it's still a very sporty and a very chilly drive. So you never have like the feeling of it's too heavy or you cannot drive fast. It really gives you this comfortable, secure driving experience, which I find is very necessary and important. And you have everything that you would have in another Porsche. You have these beautiful seats that hold you tight when you get into a corner. The steering wheel is perfect. The only thing I have to adapt to is I almost feel like I want to shift, but there is no shifting pedal. Everything is kind of driver oriented. Those screens are they're very clean. The pixels are very clean, so there is nothing like it's I think this car will get older pretty good, you know, because some of the technology you see in 10 years is very old and you feel like it's outdated. But I think they managed to do a very interesting technology update on this car. So that's my immediate reaction to the drive. I couldn't drive it properly on let's say hard mountain roads, but we are searching for it, and we're going to drive it a little bit around corners. What I also think is interesting is the different driving modes. So I'm currently in the range mode, which allows me to drive 100 kph, but you get the full range then, which is 463 kilometers in range mode, and you have to watch your throttle, of course. Then you have the possibility to turn it into normal, which gives you kind of the possibility to drive over 100 kilometers, and still you have like 400. It tells me like 400 kilometers to drive, so that's pretty much okay. I think that's great. It's not bad. I have to turn here. Just a second. Maybe I have to pause the video here. I drove the false road. What was that? I don't know. Let's go ahead. Okay, all right. So now I'm in normal mode. When I turn into sports mode, what happens is the suspension stiffens up, and the car gets a little faster, I think. Well, just the full power is here, but then when you put it into Sport Plus, there's something very interesting that happens, and it's the sound. The sound changes completely. So I'm going to accelerate now in sport mode. You hear kind of this just what you would imagine and what you would expect in an electric car. But when I turn the setup, this little turning wheel here to Sport Plus, listen now. You hear that? That was my first time accelerating or stepping on the throttle fully, and it was fast. It really was fast. I have to watch out. But let's talk about the sound. I think it's produced, well, it is produced over the boxes, over the sound boxes, Bose, which is very good, and kind of gives you this sound experience. But I would prefer it without sound. You know, I really don't need that experience. When you're on Sport Plus mode and you want to drive fast, maybe this is a nice extra that they give you, but I would say, for me personally, it's not that necessary. I mean, it's an electric car, of course it doesn't have a sound, so I find that a nice gadget. I think it's a nice gadget. What else? The interior is beautifully made, of course. Porsche, as always. I mentioned the smell when you come into the car, unmatchable. The feeling you get is unmatchable. I feel like I'm driving a 911. Really, I really feel like I'm driving a 911. This car is much heavier than a 911. It's much heavier, but still it gives me this very sporty Porsche experience, and I think it's unmatchable. Really, I drove a Tesla Model S, Tesla Model X. This is something different. This is really for the guy that wants to adapt to electro driven vehicles, but he like you, I wouldn't want to leave the experience while changing to an electric car, and this really gives me that. I really don't feel like I have to change something. I have to pay the price for the sound, of course, but other than that, it's a very sporty drive. It's very nice. Let's turn to Sport Plus. You feel the weight. Okay, got it. I think it's time for a launch control. Let's see if we can make that. So it should go in 4 seconds, 0 to 100. So I'm going to just do the usual. I didn't look that up or anything. I'm going to press the brake. I'm going to fully accelerate and let the brake go. But let me just wait for a second, because there's a car, and I have to let it pass by. It's a very narrow road. Okay, now left foot on the brake, right foot on the gas. It says launch control activated. Let's go. Whoa! Holy shit! and the experience, hey, come on, that was surprising. Holy shit, that was really surprising, man. And the interesting thing is, I'm going to switch the camera to driving mode, so you see the POV drive, but it kind of gives you this digital experience. Also, you see green, blue lights flashing. You step on the gas, the car accelerates. Your neck is being pressed on the headrest on the seat. That was very, very intense. I really am surprised. So and it shifted into a second gear, which I found very interesting. It kind of gave me this shifting experience. I knew that this is a dual clutch. It's not a dual clutch, it's like a 2-gear gearbox, but I didn't expect to feel a shifting momentum in the car. So I'm really getting excited. So let's turn the camera and let's give you the driver's experience, because I really want you to be able to kind of feel like you're sitting in the car. So I'm stopping this video and I'm turning another one.